Beneath Arctic twilight, a Greenland shark passes like a shadow whose clock seems almost stopped. Its blunt snout parts cold water while soft sediment drifts beneath broad, deliberate fins. The mystery is not whether this animal moves slowly, but how slowness became an entire life. Every measured beat suggests patience, shaped by darkness, cold, scarcity, and extraordinary longevity. If you met this shark underwater, its quiet pace could conceal the scale of its endurance. Researchers observe movement directly, yet the private decades between encounters remain largely inaccessible. The animal offers no visible calendar, and its tissues record time imperfectly. Still, several independent clues reveal a vertebrate living at an unusually extended tempo. Low temperature slows biochemical reactions, while a large body stores energy across lean intervals. Slow growth delays maturity, turning each surviving adult into the outcome of centuries of hazards. This investigation follows one governing question through the dark water. How can a predator eat, reproduce, migrate, and persist when nearly everything happens slowly? The answer begins with verified physiology rather than the romance of immortality. It continues through uncertain ages, recorded movements, stomach evidence, and changing Arctic habitats. The shark glides onward, making time itself appear to be the surrounding medium. Somniosus, microcephalus, inhabits cold North Atlantic and Arctic waters across broad depths. Adults possess thick bodies, small eyes, short fins, and skin adapted to constant contact with seawater. Tagging records show individuals traveling horizontally and changing depth despite their unhurried swimming speeds. Cold muscles contract slowly, so steady cruising costs less than repeated bursts. This cue of low temperature favors measured tail strokes, conserving energy when prey encounters are unpredictable. Conservation carries a consequence. The shark can maintain a large body where food arrives irregularly. Recorded diets include fishes, cephalopods, seals, and carrion, although feeding circumstances are seldom witnessed. A scent plume from a carcass can guide scavengers across darkness without demanding a fast pursuit. The shark follows chemical information, approaches steadily, and converts a brief opportunity into stored reserves. That sequence links sensory detection, slow action, efficient feeding, and survival between rare meals. Some stomach contents come from agile animals, creating a genuine behavioral puzzle. Possible explanations include ambush, encounters with sleeping prey, scavenging, or capture of weakened individuals. No single explanation accounts securely for every item recovered from every stomach. When you see prey remains, they establish consumption, not the exact moment or method of capture. This distinction keeps evidence separate from an appealing reconstruction. Greenland sharks also undertake seasonal and regional movements through waters with varying temperature. Electronic tags record those paths for limited periods, revealing behavior without exposing an entire lifetime. Individuals often occupy colder water and may adjust depth as thermal layers or prey fields shift. Changing temperature cue produces vertical movement, helping the shark remain within suitable physiological conditions. That response reduces metabolic strain while preserving access to possible feeding zones. The verified pattern is flexible movement performed by an animal built for energetic restraint. Instead, movement is budgeted across an environment where waste can be costly. The deepest clue to this budget lies in the shark's remarkable age estimates. Unlike bony fishes, sharks lack otoliths that commonly preserve annual growth layers. Greenland shark, vertebrate, also resist straightforward counting, leaving age unusually difficult to measure. Researchers therefore analyzed radiocarbon in proteins from the central eye lens. Those proteins form early and remain metabolically stable, preserving a chemical signal from near birth. Radiocarbon patterns, including the 20th century bomb pulse, help constrain when some sharks were born. The resulting study supported lifespans measured in centuries and very late sexual maturity. Its largest age estimates carried broad uncertainty, so no precise birthday emerged from the analysis. Mainstream interpretation accepts exceptional longevity while treating individual maximum ages as statistical ranges. The eye lens is a clock with error bars, not a perfect chronometer. Even so, the scale transforms how we understand each slow circuit through Arctic water. Growth measurements indicate that length accumulates gradually over many years. Slow growth delays reproduction, increasing the time during which fishing gear can remove future breeders. The cue may be bait or captured fish, drawing a shark toward a long line. Approach leads to hooking or entanglement, and a centuries-long life can end within minutes. This sequence reveals the central cost of a slow strategy under sudden human pressure. Bycatch records are direct evidence of contact, though total abundance and population trends remain uncertain. Historical targeted fisheries also removed large numbers for liver oil. Present protections and management differ by region, while incidental capture remains a continuing concern. Longevity does not guarantee resilience, because replacement may proceed far more slowly than removal. Reproduction remains among the least observed parts of this shark's existence. Scientists infer internal fertilization and live bearing from shark biology and limited specimens. Mating, gestation, nursery areas, and birth have not been comprehensively documented in the wild. Any cinematic scene of courtship in deep Arctic darkness would therefore be reconstruction, not observation. This absence matters because population recovery depends on how often females reproduce and how many young survive. Until those values are measured, risk assessments must preserve wide uncertainty. The slow life hypothesis is strongest where multiple observations converge, and weakest where decades remain unseen. Around the shark, its ecosystem also moves to seasonal rhythms. Plankton blooms feed fishes, marine mammals migrate, and carcasses descend through the water column. The Greenland shark encounters these pulses with a body designed to outlast the intervals between them. When food odor arrives, sensory systems direct movement toward a temporary concentration of energy. Feeding builds reserves, low metabolism stretches them, and patience becomes an ecological adaptation. Scavenging may recycle nutrients from large carcasses that would otherwise support different deep communities. Predation, where it occurs, may connect benthic pelagic, and ice-associated food webs. Scientists are still resolving the relative importance of those roles across places and seasons. If you follow one tagged shark, its path becomes a narrow window into a vast hidden history. The track may cross fishing grounds, steep slopes, fjords, or deep basins. Each crossing links this ancient animal to modern shipping, warming, pollution, and resource use. Arctic warming changes temperature layers and redistributes many potential prey species. A shark can shift depth or range, but adaptation may not match the pace of rapid environmental change. Long generation times can slow evolutionary responses because new generations appear infrequently. Chemical contaminants may accumulate in long-lived predators through repeated feeding over decades. Measured tissue burdens document exposure, though health effects at population scale remain difficult to isolate. Parasites commonly seen on Greenland shark eyes may impair vision, but complete blindness is not established. In darkness, smell, mechanosensation, and other senses can still guide effective behavior. Reduced vision may alter hunting choices without rendering the animal helpless. These connections replace the image of a drifting relic with an active, vulnerable participant. Protecting this slow life requires decisions made before its hidden population history becomes complete. Long-duration tags could reveal seasonal routes, repeated habitats, temperature choices, and possible feeding events. Evidence of population connections must show whether regional groups exchange breeding individuals. Verified births must constrain maturity, reproductive output, and gestation without inventing unseen behavior. Complete catch evidence should expose where slow movement most often intersects fast industrial activity. Reliable population trends must reveal whether Greenland sharks are stable, recovering, or declining. Presence records alone cannot establish how many sharks inhabit any region. Longer diet histories must complement the brief snapshot preserved inside one's stomach. No single method can compress a 4-century life into complete understanding. If you return to the opening shadow, its silence now carries measurable biological consequences. Each tail beat conserves energy, each meal bridges scarcity, and each delayed birth raises the cost of loss. The animal's pace is successful only while its environment allows time to remain abundant. Warming seas and fishing gear introduce changes faster than this strategy evolved to answer. Science can estimate centuries, trace journeys, and identify prey, but many intimate events remain unobserved. It is a living experiment in how far vertebrate time can stretch under cold conditions. Its slow motion is therefore not a curiosity, but the central adaptation and vulnerability of Somniosus microcephalus.